But if we were not right, none of that, what brought us together tonight, would have happened. We would have drowned. We would have drowned long ago in the courts of Germany or in other countries. The fact that I'm here after fighting the most profitable investment business on this planet, the pharmaceutical industry, after 15 years, tells you something about who's right or wrong. I'm the David, they are the gorilla or the Goliath, whatever you call them. Now we have to briefly answer the question, what does the pharmaceutical industry want? What are their goals when they initiate these giant campaigns? We've talked about some of these goals already. Maintain cancer as a death verdict. Protect the monopoly of patented chemotherapy. Protect their investments. Fight any health solutions that threaten this market with all means available. And above all, the last thing, cause public confusion. If you are confused, you are likely to stay with the status quo. Because why would you change if you're confused? That's what they factor in. So, for them, causing doubts, bad-mouthing Dr. Rath, saying he's a fraud, BMJ, calling him a charlatan, other medical journals. That's the strategic goal. There's another goal behind that. Remember, our profits don't go in my pocket. So when they attack me as a businessman, or as they did on German television, as the guy who sacrificed the life of Dominic for personal greed, they lie. So and they know they lie. So why do they still do this? Here's the answer. If we take the money to finance research, their attacks on my personal credibility ultimately result in less money for research. So they win time with their business with disease. And then you have this one here. When the BMJ knew that they could not stand a court trial against Dr. Rath, they were in the corner. And suddenly, like a phoenix out of the ashes, appears the Times referring to an article in the American Medical Association Journal, which is the counterpart to the BMJ, allegedly stating that vitamins kill. So, of course, we were observing with utmost interest what that study really said. This was a library study. It wasn't a real study. It was a study where some researchers went into the library and pulled out those studies they wanted to pull out. The others they left in there, meaning those that showed that vitamins work. If you have the chance and you have the patience to read this article, you should. They included, believe it or not, in their analysis, vitamin studies that lasted 1 day. And of course showed no results. The researchers, or whatever I should call them, that were the authors of this study came from Serbia, from the University of Nice. I'm sure you know Nice. I don't. The other one came from Palermo. Now, I checked them out on the internet, what their track record is, how many publications they had, whether these are reputable scientists. The only studies I could find were sponsored by pharmaceutical companies and chemotherapy drugs. I'll leave the conclusion up to you. But this is the battle we are in. It's a battle for the human minds. It's a battle for the minds of the people of London and the UK and for the people of the world. That's what we're in. And now that you know all these things, you must ask yourself, how long do I want to tolerate this business with chemotherapy? How long do I want to accept the fact that every day one child in Great Britain is dying under chemotherapy, and we're not sure whether it dies despite of chemotherapy or because of chemotherapy? I'll speed up a little bit, but the chapter on cardiovascular disease is something that is equally fascinating. Have you ever asked yourself why people get heart attacks and not nose attacks? Or kneecap attacks or elbow attacks? Or why the heart? If cholesterol is the culprit and damage the blood vessel wall, it is like a pipeline where the water quality is bad, which leads to the damage along the entire pipeline. Have you ever asked yourself, why do we get atherosclerosis and not venosclerosis? Our blood vessel pipeline in the body is about 60,000 miles long. Half of it are veins. Why do we get atherosclerosis only? Why do we get animals no heart attacks, but people do? And here you have, let me guess, 4,000 cardiologists in London alone who make a living from being on TV and being in the operation room and telling everyone I'm the sharpest guy on town. None of them can answer those questions. What does this, remember the questions with cancer? If you're not able to answer the most basic questions in cancer, you are not able to solve the riddle. Same thing for heart disease. What do I mean with this? Well, with heart disease, the dilemma is even bigger. We have annual losses from people dying from heart attacks and strokes amounting to the population of cities like Liverpool,